Good evening and welcome to RTG TV for the third week of racing in Season 14, and we're here for the third round of the Monday Tier 1 in Imola, the other track we race at in Italy. The track is got 19 corners, it's got one DRS zone, it's 4.909 kilometres in length, it's 3.050 miles in length. It was cancelled this season in Formula One in 2023. It came back on the calendar a few years ago now in 2020. And for tyre compounds, we have the C5, which is a soft C4 in the mediums, and the C3 that are the hard tyres. Not too sure what tyres will be the best race tyre just yet. As you can see, we've got another full grid of drivers for the third week in a row. It's fantastic to see. Looking at the drivers' standings, as it stands, Matthew is leading the way in the Alpine. Nice Job Mate is second, Prodigy is third, Sean Marcus is fourth, and Josh McGill is sitting in fifth place right now. The McLarens are on 73 points in the constructors. Alpines are on 57 and 52 points for Alfa Romeo. So for the first time this season, and potentially the only time this season, you're going to get the dream team. We're here with Lee. Lee was supposed to be doing this on his own, but as I couldn't turn up for Thursday, I've switched and decided to do Monday instead. So maybe the one and only time, Lee, this season we'll get to commentate on Tier 1.
Yeah, and well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be the first time for Season 14 being here, so looking forward to it. And looking at the standings right now, I'm noticing that Matthew and Nice Job Mate are actually tying for first place right now, but of course, with Matthew having that extra win in Bahrain, I think it was, no, Australia, sorry, that he's just got that slight advantage there. Just seen a time put in of a 1:14.6 from Josh McGill, so he's going to be that time to beat.
Yeah, so we've just seen a couple of lap times come in. The last time we were here was last season, but unfortunately we haven't got any data for that because Short Marcus wasn't able to turn up for the Monday stream, so we weren't able to stream that one, unfortunately. So the last time we got data for was a wet pole time, and that was a 1:27.148 for AJ Baker. He subsequently won that race, his first win in RTG. And of course, he's racing in Thursdays this season as well, as we start to get some lap times on the board. A couple of hours ago, we had the highlights from week 2 come on to the channel. It was a little bit later than normal, as it was my birthday weekend, so I wasn't overly fussed, to be honest, about putting it up over the weekend, as I had a few things I was doing, but I got it up today, as well as the obviously the short video of moments of the week on Instagram and TikTok, and of course this YouTube channel as well. So make sure to check those out. I think Lee did be prepared for today as well for Bahrain, which was a cracking race last week, and hopefully we'll have another one today, as Prodigy as well got himself on the podium last week, where he came fourth in the first week after finishing the race firstly, and finished the race first, but he had a time penalty and he dropped off the podium. So got a podium last week after having a bit of a disappointing Australia.
Yeah, we'll definitely say it is quite disappointing to have some positions that were ripped away from you right at the end due to penalties and such. I've unfortunately not been on the receiving end, but also been on the other side as well. Yeah, being on the receiving end, not so much fun. But yeah, Prodigy looks like he's doing a good outing up to now. He's went fastest, a 1:14.495. So just over a tenth quicker than Josh McGill for now. Let's see who else. Matty Jones. I think he's just he's just coming into the final corner now.
Which Ginger's
We'll
just
see
set a
what
lap time as well.
Matty Jones goes 8th.
Yeah, and 1:15.185. Thank you, little Mo, for the belated birthday. That's yeah, appreciated. First time I'm commentating at 29 now.
Next
Short
year
Marcus
you'll
saying,
get your OAP badge.
yeah. Short Marcus is saying apparently it is raining in 10 minutes time, supposedly, so they're going to have to get on with it. Whilst we're in qualifying as well, I'll also my dad has caught a couple of them in the past, so I don't know if he will do today, unlikely, but happy anniversary to my mum and dad as well, their 41st wedding anniversary, which is just mental. So congrats to them as well. So I don't get them anniversary presents because they had me the day before.
Come on, you ain't that much of a gift, mate.
No. What? I'm better than Santa, me. As GTO's making his way through the middle sector right now in that Aston Martin. Now just coming down to Variante Alta, the really tricky chicane, which I absolutely hate with a passion. I hate that chicane.
See, I find it's one of them things that's like Marmite, to be honest. I mean, I love it just because it's basically like the final chicane. It reminds me of that at Imola, Canada, sorry. But it's a lot tighter, and it kind of, you can't take too much off it because then it'll put you off balance with the high curbs on the inside of the apex.
So GTO down at the bottom at the moment, 14th. And the admins know now, if anyone's watching who doesn't know, we're actually trying to keep some decent stats this season, and hopefully for the seasons beyond as well, so we'll get a bit of more of a historic picture of RTG for seasons to come, how long that the admins want us around for, or hopefully it'll be around for will be around for a little while yet. But the two pole positions have gone to Prodigy and Matthew so far. Had two drivers starting the top three after qualifying. That being Prodigy being one of those, and nice job, mate. The only one not to get a pole position out of the three, the two that have done already. And then we've got some stats more inside and outside the top 10. We'll sort of talk about that more when we get to the real crunch point of the session. But that might be coming a little bit earlier than usually if we're to believe what Short Marcus has said, because obviously if there's some rain that comes, that'll practically finish off the session, even though we've still got a clock ticking.
Yeah, everybody's just gonna really sit in the garages and just chill as well. As soon as that slightest drop of rain starts hitting the track, it does kind of nail you in the grip department. It just starts becoming a bit like an ice rink, really.
One thing I would say as well about videos that have been posted this week, not live streams, checking out the moments of the week as well, something I wasn't there for. I got told and then saw when editing the videos. Probably something I've never seen. I think something Lee has never seen that happened on the last lap of Thursday's Japanese Grand Prix. And if you just want to get to that quickly, check the short video of moments of the week, because it has gone to number one, and I think Lee was almost having to pinch himself with what happened on the last lap.
Yeah, I will definitely say it was entirely unexpected. All that could only describe as chaos. Really, it was just insane. Just totally out of the blue, to be honest. Like it seemed earlier on in the race, it was looking a bit sketchy for some people, but yeah, in the end, it was quite insane to say the least.
Lee, I've just been told that your mic is a little bit quiet, so if you want to sort of turn that up a little bit, that'd be good. Little Mo saying that in the comments. Thank you, Little Mo. Sitting in 8th right now. Obviously got enough time to multitask, talk to us whilst prepping for his potentially final lap, so hopefully that'll be a little bit better to hear. Lee, appreciate anyone that comments about the fact that audio's wrong or anything like that.
Yep, I think that should be a better. I've went and turned my mic up a bit, so we'll go to Mo. If you're free, will let me know. Right, he's still in the pits, cool. Right, that was so weird. I was trying to press L2 to go up the grid there, and it just wasn't letting me. It was just jumping back down one.
That is strange.
That is weird. This game just surprises me more and more each day. Let's have a look. We can see them clouds just overhead starting to come over the track.
Yeah, just having a look at the track map. So just for anyone referencing here, so when we turn left here at Piratella, we're starting to head north now, down towards Acqua Minerale, and then we start going back west here. So I'm not sure where the cloud cover's coming from exactly right now. One thing I would love from future F1 games, if we could get it to be done, would be winds. That'd make it interesting. Because obviously there is wind around, because it's starting to bring clouds over, yeah, the moisture over. So there is wind. It would just be nice if it was affected by the cars, but obviously there's a fine balance between being a game, is what they call it, and a simulator. Is the American of Little Mo is coming down towards the chicane of turns 1, 2 and 3. Of course, Tamburello, which was changed to a chicane in 1995 after Ayrton Senna, just there on the right hand side, lost his life on the 1st of May 1994.
I forgot it used to be just an entirely left hand.
It seemed to me like it was a left-handed version of Curva Grande, which is a right-hand corner turn 3 at Monza. That's kind of how I feel like it was. Yeah. But they changed it. So now he's gone through Piratella into Acqua Minerale, the trickiest point of the circuit, coming up now at the latter stages of this Sector 2. And I think we just hit the Sector 3, the end of Sector 2 timing beacon before we get into Variante Alta. And we've got Prodigy, who's already retired. Still got a few minutes to go. Rain should be about here, but of course we don't know how heavy this rain could be. As Little Mo now makes his way. Yeah, he really was. Goes up to 5th place as well.
Yeah, nicely done from him.
Yeah, and he's someone so far that hasn't been able to qualify inside the top 10 this season. Is he going to be able to this evening for this 32-lap race around Imola?
Oh, Danny's round. Coming out of Acqua Minerale. I will say that is one corner on the exit that I just absolutely hate, trying to get the power down right there. It's quite tough, I will say, to get it right. Just with you going uphill at the same time, it's just it's like the rear wants to overtake the front.
Now, if the rain is coming, Chuckle might be in a bit of a predicament here. He's invalidated out of the final corner of Vatsa 2, which subsequently meant he invalidated his flying lap. He has got the fuel to go again. Of course, he's got battery to go again as well, seeing as he hadn't used any as he invalidated before he'd even got going. The only question we have now is that rain going to come whilst he's preparing the second unwanted outlap actually, but yeah. It's definitely getting cloudy, isn't it? But it is a short lap. It's not a long lap. It's 3 miles, 3 miles in length. So it's not too long. And anyone didn't know, it's just under 5 kilometres in length. Who are not used to us doing the miles as well as little Mo out there stateside as well with everyone else. Yeah, he's about to start another lap. So the only driver yet to set a lap. Didn't have a very good qualifying performance, sprint performance last week in Bahrain when we had that sprint format. But we get going. Little Mo's just saying maybe a little bit more, Lee, and you'll be about on the level of what I'm like at the moment.
Copy that. Is that all better now? Just let me know. Hopefully it should be quite good.
So as Chuckle now coming down into turn 7, Toza, where we saw, I think it was in 2005, where Schumacher pushed Juan Manuel. Montoya. Yeah, I was thinking of Fangio then. Is the rain is now come, Lee? But is it going to affect his lap? Of course, a few drops may be all right as he makes his way into Variante Alta, keeping it within track limits, using that yellow sausage curb as much as he possibly could. He's going to see the checkered flag, I think, Lee. I think the checkered flag may be out before he crosses the line. These two corners, though, Ravazza 1 and 2, the final two, 18 and 19, they're going to be tricky. He uses all the track as humanly possible. This slight little right-hand kink to the line and goes 15th. And he did just beat the checkered flag, actually. Must have been by about half a second. But I think that's it now, Lee. He was able to get the time on the board. He's going to be starting 15th. But I think we're pretty much safe to say now, Lee, that Prodigy's going to be starting the race on pole.
Yep. His nice job, mate, was struggling out of the chicane there. See, Ginge, he's just slowing up. Yep, so I think that is the end of qualifying.
So it's now just a wait to see who takes the flag and who comes into the pits. Most of them opting to come into the pits. Very tight pit lane entry. Can't do a league special here. It's not really possible. And just for your information, little Mo, a kilometre is 1,000 metres, and don't go to ask me what a metre is.
Huh?
He said, "What the hell is a kilometre?" in the comments.
Oh.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's like a meme. You seen the meme? No?
No. But Chuckle right now, he's on the low fuel mode, so he's just crawling his way back into the pits now. Or to the finish line. Oh, you dick.
Excuse me?
He's such a tease there. He's listening, I know he is.
So while we wait for him to get back in, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, whoever's watching now, when the video has been completed and you're watching this later on. Make sure you do, and put a thumbs up on the video as well as the highlights video from this week and the week before. Still getting some really good viewerships in, getting close to 100 on almost every video now, so that's really nice for the support. And looks like Chuckle's backed into the garage, so we'll let Lee do his thing.
So, the end of qualifying now. We've got Prodigy there, who gets the fastest lap of qualifying there. Gets the pole position and the extra point that comes with it. Not by much though, just under 200ths of a second. Short Marcus there in second, Josh McGill in third, and they're all within a tenth of a second. Fourth was Chuck, Paul Jones in fifth, sixth was Pippo Kendi, Little Mo in seventh, Ross G in eighth, Nice job, mate. In 9th, 10th is Lewis. Tiny in 11th, Lee in 12th. Matty Jones 13th, 14th, Looneyman Chuckle 15th, Danny 16th, 17th, D-Mac Royal Rumble 18th, Ginge. Then it was GT Ord in 20th. Now moving on to the race now. We'll see how things are going to fare up and how the tyre situation is going to be. Oh no, it looks like a complete yellow.
Yeah, it's all yellow so far. We'll have about a minute or so until we get started, and Lee should be happy because when I look at the driver list here, got 3 Scotsmen, mate. 3 of them.
Yeah, I did notice that. Tiny, Ross and Lewis, of course, raced alongside Lewis and Ross before last season.
Yeah.
Not raced against Tiny, don't think.
No, I think he could be new or reasonably new. He's one of the 2 reserves, Tiny. GT Ord is the other one, so bear that in mind. He will be dropped out of the positions once we finish the race. Got a hard tyre there for D-Mac.
Yeah. And Short Marcus.
Short Marcus on the front row as well.
Lewis deciding to go hard also. There's a few more actually. Tiny and Ross. So all the Scotsmen are hard. Same as Short Marcus and D-Mag.
So while we wait, we've got a few more, as you said, going on to the hard tyres. Ross and Lewis as well. Tiny on the mediums. We've got the lights coming up on our screens, 4 and 5 of them. And we're away for the 3rd round of the Season 14's Monday tier. And Josh McGill's got a really good start here, already overtaken Short Marcus as we go down towards turns 2, 3 and 4. The Tamburello chicane side by side between Chuck and Paul Jones as they now make their way down towards the Villeneuve chicane. And just behind them, Little Mo sticking in 8th place right now. Got nice job, mate, just behind him, who's putting him under pressure. The Haas of Little Mo now up the inside of Ross G as they go through Tozer and now climb up the hill towards Piratella. Prodigy still leading as we go through into the 2nd sector and gaining some time as well as we see the 2 Red Bulls close together, but Chuck is closer to Paul Jones, who's sitting in 4th, our Thursday champion of season 13. And Little Mo now made up a place or 2 and loses all of them and drops all the way down. And nice job, mate, as well as in the wall at the exit of Aqua Minerale.
Just watching that, it was just insane. Ginge and D-Mac going into the penultimate corner now. D-Mac decides to back out there.
With Prodigy now taking the fastest lap, obviously, with the first one to set a lap time so far. As D-Mac now gets closer, no DRS available just yet, but using the battery that he's got available to him, tries to go around the outside, but gets pushed onto the grass. He gets onto the gravel, has to try and keep the car in a straight line, which he was able to, and stays out of everyone else's way as well. But he has lost the place to the Scotsman of Tiny. The other Scotsman, Ross G, has spun it at the Villeneuve chicane, turn 6, and gets himself back underway, going towards Tozer.
Is all kicking off here, folks, and well, it looks like Short Marcus, the hard Chuckle.
Chuckle is out. Safety car deployed. Lewis was into the pits. He's got the safety car coming out just ahead of him. He'll be able to overtake him. We've had a lap and a half, and we've already had a driver out and a safety car deployed here at Imola. As Matty Jones leaves the session, there is worse times for that to happen, and he somehow has lost a place as well. And now gets it back, and he's joined back quickly. He has a bit of time to get back in anyway, but if there's any time to leave, Lee, that was the time.
I mean, maybe not, because if he was planning to pit, I don't think it's going to allow him. Nope. So if he was wanting to get a pit stop in, oh, well, he gets a 5-second penalty. If he was wanting to get a pit stop in, then it's kind of buggered him up for that. He's just going to have to grin and bear being on the mediums for a while longer. Yep, so he's back in his car now. Yes, so how we look at tyres. It was only Little Mo, Lee and Lewis that came into the pits. Little Mo and Lee going on to them hard compound tyres and Lewis onto them mediums again. Or was wait, he was on the hards, was he?
Oh, I don't know, not sure. Not sure if it's really a two-stop here or not.
Yeah, he was on the hards, so he's on the mediums now. Possibly ended down another medium, I'm guessing.
So I'll have another lap after this. So we'll get going, I think, on lap 5. I've got one time penalty in the field. That's a 5-second penalty for RTG Lee, who sped into the pit lane and didn't get his braking point judged well enough. We've seen that quite a lot from RTG in the last sort of few months. Well, maybe not a few months, maybe that's a little bit too much, but the last few weeks. One that springs to mind was Brazil. There was a huge amount of Brazil for the last race of the season, of season 13, of those sort of pit lane time penalties. Something that drivers seem to still struggle with. As Chuckle leaves the session, hopefully that won't cause any disruptions, as he was the host.
He was the host. Hopefully it goes all well and doesn't bugger up, that is. But yeah, let's see. So probably I reckon the safety car's going to be in this lap, possibly.
I would presume so. We're just waiting for Royal Rumble to catch back up. Of course, AlphaTauri's home race is the closest to their Faenza factory. Only about 20 or 30 miles, about 50 kilometres, I think, from the circuit. So it's really their home race, but of course it's another race in Italy, so it's mainly a home race for the mighty Scarlet Red Ferraris. But yeah, geographically speaking, this is AlphaTauri's home race.
Where is it they're located again, was it?
Faenza.
Ah.
It's in the north of Italy. So the safety car is now coming in this lap.
I only really know that place from Assassin's Creed.
Who said games can't be educational? So,
exactly.
As we wait to get back underway, going through the first of the two Ravazza corners.
He's gone.
I think he didn't. He had a little hesitation there, but he didn't speed up all that much. But yeah, now he's gone as we go green flagged racing once again, and we're back racing on lap 5. Short markers getting very close to the back of that Italian rear wing of the Alfa Romeo as we go down into turns 2, 3 and 4, the Tamburello chicane. No one just yet has gone for a move into that chicane. As we now go down to that second chicane. Villeneuve, as Ross G again has spun out. GT Ord as well, down towards the back now. And they have come a cropper there at the exit of the Tamburello chicane. As now we go down the hill into Variante Alta. Oh, sorry, Minerale, Acqua Minerale. And now up the hill to Variante Alta. The third and final chicane at this Imola circuit, place where you can see some lunges, and if you have the inside line, you're more than likely going to get the place as long as you don't miss that braking point. and everyone just sort of in single file at the moment, which is kind of, it's a bit of a inherent thing of this circuit. Quite a narrow, old school circuit, not easy to get an overtake done, but we have this long start finish straight towards turn 2, where here is turn 1, this little left-hander here, and it's easily flat out, and that'll be easy flat out for most cars, not just Formula 1 cars. They go into the Tamburello chicane. Matty Jones trying to go around the outside here at the Tamburello chicane, and they both make contact, both keep it in a straight line, but Matty, I think, was being a little bit optimistic there, trying to go around the outside at Tamburello. And we now see the Haas of Ginge defending to the inside. Matty Jones been let past.
Yeah, he got past there going to the chicane. The hairpin, sorry. So...
Prodigy still looking comfortable right now, but he's actually, as I say, the gap's getting closer and closer now. Of course, Josh winning one of the races this season, and the other one being Matthew Prodigy getting on the podium last week after finishing 4th the week before. And so now exit Verazza 2, go on to lap 7, and I believe that's DRS enabled, yeah.
Yep, so now that there's DRS is enabled, we will see a bit more overtaking. But it looks like Tiny could be having a go into the chicane here at turn 1 on Ginge, but he just doesn't manage to get alongside enough. But Ginge has drained quite a bit of that battery to try and ensure that he is going to stay in front.
Tiny there getting a little bit unsettled on the sausage curves, which are on the inside of the chicanes here at Imola, and if you get it wrong, you can really get it wrong, as Ross G is now round again at the exit of the Tamburello chicane.
Struggling to get it back straight again.
And he's got himself back underway now through the second chicane. 3-second time penalty there for DMAC for exceeding track limits. And
wait a minute,
been his third and final
was going
time.
for a move on the inside. Oh, no. I think he could have got that there if he was just.
But is he waiting?
Danny Ricciardo.
Is he waiting for the DRS though, Lee? Because it can be quite powerful here. We've only got the one DRS straight, but it is a long one, and you get it pretty much instantly after you exit the second Ravazza. As you can see the DRS polystyrene board there on the left, and then the right is the camera angle changes, and now got that DRS open. Looking at Tiny, but just behind. Nice job, mate. Now going up the inside. It's a drag race between the two of them as they both have DRS. He outbrakes the Mercedes and moves up into 12th place. But DMAC, yeah, not satisfied with that, and he wants the place back. Tries to go up the inside and didn't have the confidence to get on the brakes later there into this second chicane.
Now we're seeing these top 5 all sit within DRS range of each other. There's a little bit of gap between Pippo Kennedy. He's got a bit of breathing room between him. Chuck and the Looney Man.
Well, one thing to take note of as well is that top 13 have all yet to take their mandatory pit stop. Short Marcus is the only one in that top 5 on the hard tyre as well. Everyone else is on the medium. So within the next few laps, I'm sure that hard tyre will be starting to be at optimal grip compared to the medium. Is that DRS is wide open for Josh McGill, and he's alongside him past well before we get into turn 2. I think he's done it before the flat out turn 1.
Oh, Tiny there, squeezing past Ginge there.
Oh, there's a... Oh, that was interesting. Who was that off the road? I think, is it Ross G already, who's been lapped on lap 9?
Yeah, he just jumped into the pits there. But Tiny's overtake there on Ginge, you noticed that rear light flashing away going down the straight, so you had that extra speed advantage. And Danny getting out of shape there, coming out the hairpin. It looks like Tiny could be making up another place here. Got a left-hander here just coming up. Is he going to make it? Yes, he does. And now he's up to 9th place. Nicely done there. But yeah, his overtake on Ginge, there was a tight squeeze between him and the pit wall, and he managed to just squeeze through. It was nicely done there, I would say.
Tiny on a bit of a big charge here. Tiny in name, but big in nature at the moment as he makes his way out of Variante Alta and down towards the two left-handers at Ravazza. And the only one there, your fellow countryman at the moment, actually putting in a decent performance right now is Lewis and Ross G are down towards the back of the field in 16th and 19th. And of course, Ross actually being lapped already as we're now on lap 10, but he was lapped on the 9th lap as Ginge goes past Danny and Looney Man trying to go around the outside, but again misses his braking zone, cuts the corner. Surely would have got a warning there, and then the Alpine of Tiny trying to go for it as well, but I think had much more momentum than Looney Man and actually caught the back of that Aston Martin, and it almost went sideways on the exit of turn 4.
Oh, that was a bit disappointing seeing Lewis G must have got about out of shape there as Royal Rumble just passed him there, and it's already a 2-second gap nearby. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate for Lewis and Ross here today. Oh, Danny getting about out of shape out of Aqua Mini Rally, and that allows a nice job, mate, up into 11th place.
Like I said, if
too much power down there trying to get out of that chicane.
Yeah, and as I said, if you're going to go on the inside at that chicane, you're more than likely to get the place because it's such a tight corner. As Danny's now struggling with the rear of that Alpha Tauri as he makes his way out of the second Ravazza. I don't think he's going to have DRS to defend here. No, and he's going to lose one. And now 2 places as the Alfa Romeo Little Mo goes past. And now he's got a Alpine bearing down on him as well, but not close enough to go for it to lose 3 places in one straight. But it's still losing 2 in one straight. Certainly not ideal for Danny.
We'll say, watching Tiny just there, he was absolutely breezed past the winning man there with some amount of speed there with the aid of the DRS slipstream and the ERS battery there. And now he's just within 1 second of Matty Jones there. Looking back at the top 10 here, everybody's still sitting in their positions right now. Doesn't seem that anybody wants to go for an overtake. Tiny, they're getting a 3-second time penalty.
He has been pushing it, so I'm not surprised that a safety car could have been coming. Got another safety car deployed. Now that is uncalled for. Ross G had spun on the exit of Piratella, turn 9, and between the unnamed turn 10. Not something we would have wanted to see. First safety car was very quick, but maybe the drivers have wanted that lead because a huge amount of them now is all decided to use that chance to get a quick and cheap pit stop.
Yeah, I will say that this is going to be an advantage for these medium runners most of all. Just with having been on their mediums, and now they'll just have to make the hard tyres do them to the end. Oh! And Ross G just bumps right into the back of GTR and causes him to get a 5-second time penalty. I want to have a wee check and see what that was actually for, whether it be speeding in the pit lane.
I think it was, yeah. I didn't catch it.
It was both. He got 2. He got 2 5-second.
No.
That is no. I've got to say, I really feel bad for GTR there. He just got 2 5-second penalties for Ross going absolutely flying into the pits, like not even braking.
Wow.
That's absolutely dreadful, to be honest. I'm sorry.
Not great. Not great at all.
No.
So field a little bit spread now until they get back into that formation before we get racing again. Just again, drivers Never liking this. Always hurts the flow. Now the top. Oh, interesting. Top 5, is that they're coming in? Is Tiny already pit? This is now interesting. Short Marcus takes the lead. Tiny's already pit. He's on the fresh, hard tyre. Did those guys leadingly? Do we think that the safety car came out at the very worst moment, just as they were about to go past?
Yeah, well, that's
the pit lane entry.
Well, that's the thing. As soon as Short Marcus comes out of the pits and basically attaches himself to the rear of that safety car, that delta goes away. So Tiny's essentially had more of an advantage in the pits, and it's cost him less time due to the delta. As well, when the people catch up to the safety car, they could go full speed until they catch the safety car queue.
Interesting as well. This Prodigy's gone on to the soft, so I'm thinking he's gonna try a double soft strategy now.
I'm actually quite. It's actually quite interesting that Short Marcus has yet to come into the pits. He's still sticking to his one-stop strategy, it seems.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be the only hard runner that has done that. Only driver that has done that at all, even. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, he's the only one to get now not pit, isn't he? So
yeah,
Pippo Kennedy's net leader right now.
Well, that's the thing. If another safety car comes out, then he's going to be jamming. Sean Marcus, I mean. But now we'll look. Yeah, Brosty's just coming out the final corner now. Lewis in the pits. So I think we could be getting underway this lap.
That would be my guess. So we're about to get back underway just before half race distance. In terms of strategy, Lee, I'm really not sure what's going to happen. Actually, this second safety car and where it came out is really sort of chucked a I can't speak today. Metaphorical grenade into the situation. I feel it's really mixed things up and made it much more interesting.
Yeah, the one interesting I will say is Prodigy as well. He's on the soft tyre, so he's going to be doing, I would say, definitely another stop after this. But he's got quite a bit of traffic ahead of him.
Short Marcus as well, going very slowly. Obviously, this third sector quite short, really. The safety car now is in the pit lane, so he can go whenever he likes. We'll usually see them put flat to the floor. Put flat to the floor as he does out of the second Ravazza, and we get back racing again onto lap 15, just before the halfway mark of this race, and actually got a really good launch on the old hard tyre as well. Obviously got them up to temperature nice and quickly. It's nice job, mate, looking on the inside of the Haas. A little Mo and almost gets pushed off the circuit there. I think half his car was off the circuit. Has to slot back in behind as he lost momentum and is all over the back of that Haas, looking left and right on the in and outside, and hasn't found a way through just yet as Royal Rumble loses a place to Prodigy and is again another driver again off the circuit in the middle of a chicane.
I will say definitely heating up here. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. That's a Haas. That'll be Ross G spinning out again. It's obviously not his favourite track here. Yeah, it doesn't appear that he could possibly have a good setup for this track. Nice job, mate, looking to the outside. Oh! And there was contact. Nice job. Goes into the wall after a bit of contact there with the little mole.
He's about to lose the place to Danny as well. I don't think he got himself a time penalty. He was going slow enough, I think, not to have actually been classed as cutting the corner. So fair play to the game for that. And Prodigy on the hunt now on the soft tyre and going quite wide out of the second advance. I'm not sure if he went over track limits there. It was awfully close if he did. Did get a good launch though, and is going past as the Alpine there of RTG lead seems to somewhat move out of the way, almost like he was a back marker. Oh my
Safety
days.
car. God's sake.
I feel like Ross G now may be retiring in the pits because that's a second safety car that he's caused by spinning out and looking like he's doing donuts on the exit corner. So not sure if he's going to have to speak to the stewards about this in the hours and days to come after this race. But yeah, 3 safety cars already after seeing none last week in Bahrain, and then we saw a load in Australia, and it seems like we're having a bit of a yo-yo system with the safety cars in the in Tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, there was none on Thursday at Suzuka. But it seems to be that they've all compiled into one race here.
Short Marcus has now got to pit for the mediums, hasn't he? Can't miss up another opportunity.
I mean,
but he is going to fall all the way to the back of the field, though, isn't he?
Yep, he will.
Load of drivers pulling dummies here. A couple of them going in. Looney Man's decided to go on to the mediums. When there's a few drivers further back than that haven't seen the antics of people pulling dummies, they usually all seem to then start to follow suit, which a lot of them have done, actually. And a lot of them actually really locking up the fronts as they're trying to get the car down to the speed limit before that speed limit line.
Yeah. So I've seen quite a few there jumping into the pits.
The majority have now gone into the pit lane. It has helped Prodigy somewhat as well, that, as he's now up into 7th and he's got his teammate just ahead of him. So I wonder if he'll let him through. And Tiny as well, one of the reserves, someone who's new to RTG, is now in 3rd place.
Yeah, looking at the biggest gainers and lossers at the moment, D-Mac is up 10 places, Ginge up 14 places, Matty Jones up 11, Short Marcus down 12 at the moment, of course he's just Pat, and Ross down 11 places. So after having a not so bad qualifying session, he's kinda went right to the back, and well, I think this could be his 2nd time getting lapped. I think he has been lapped twice.
Yeah, no offence to Ross, I am surprised he's still here, to be honest.
Yeah.
He gets himself a 3-second time penalty for speeding. Oh, sorry, for corner cutting. But under the safety car, no excuse for that, really.
No, you don't really, and under the safety car, it is the worst feeling, to be honest, is when you get a penalty under safety car or even a warning. It's just, it is a bit soul breaking. It throws you off a little, I would say. You kind of get, I would say, a little bit annoyed at yourself, and Ross is out. Turn 3.
Yeah, and I feel like that could have had a bit of... I can't see that actually have been an accident. It looked like he was going too fast for one. And if you don't want to take part, just retire in the pits. I'm not actually 100% saying that was an accident. It could have been, but from experience, turn 4 there, not really going to go off into the wall under a safety car. Well, you shouldn't anyway.
Fortunately enough. Yeah, true. Fortunately enough, though, it's not affected the safety car as we've seen it in this lap now. So both times we've seen the leader who's taken us away pull away, coming out the final corner. We're going to see Pippo Kennedy. Is he going to do it a little differently coming out the penultimate corner maybe?
As we see him now, he gets the power down between Ravazza 1 and 2, the driver that won the Japanese Grand Prix last week. He's got his back racing again, but not got the launch he probably would have liked, and hopefully we won't see any more safety cars this evening. Is Little Mo now alongside Ginge as they go towards turn 2, as the American now tries to get later on the brakes, going to have the outside though for turn 3, and is now having to fall back in, as there was some great defensive work there from the Brit of Ginge, as D-Mac is closely behind him as well now, so looking forwards on the attack and looking in the mirrors for the defensive. His Prodigy now tries to go at the inside of his teammates, but his teammate not actually letting him go by there and giving him a hard time. Rightfully so, I think. I don't think you should just let them go straight through. Tozer, though, not...
different strategies.
Yes, they are. But I suppose... I don't know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Josh McGill getting closer there. Is Ginge and Little Mo again going side by side there. Little Mo now moved up a place as they went into the chicane of Variante Alta, as now go down through turn 16 down the hill before we hit the brakes of turn 17 and 18 of the two Ravazzas, and now D-Mac going off the track and allowing Prodigy to get past now without being held up any more. Ginge down in 5th now, but still up 13 places as Short Markers gets past Royal Rumble. And Lewis now, the other Ferrari, trying to go up the inside of, and gets it, and does go up the inside of the AlphaTauri as well. So both Ferrari's overtaking that singular AlphaTauri down the start-finish straight on lap 20, as Lee loses a place to Short Marcus as well now.
Yeah, Short Marcus does really look like he's wanting to get back up there. And, well, he's got a few hard runners just ahead of him, Chuck Paul Jones and Josh McGill.
Two of them going very wide there at Piratella at the back. The AlphaTauri, 16th and 17th right now, is Pippo Kennedy still leading as we get towards the latter parts of this lap. If we dive into the first of the two Ravazzas, he's got a Williams and an Alpine right on his gearbox, and the Alfa Romeo of Little Mo as well, looking very strong and quick at the moment, as we get DRS once again. Tiny getting closer, clearly having a quicker car in a straight line as we go towards turn 2. And it looked like Matty Jones actually almost hit the back there. Is Little Mo now trying to seize on some drivers' mistakes ahead of him, but it looks like they got it all under wraps as they exit turn 4, as we now go towards Tozer. Little Mo looking on the outside. Nothing to show for it just yet. Is D-Mac getting close to Ginge, who has been dropping places after the safety car restart.
Short Marcus there around the inside of Chuck there, and now he's looking for a move around the outside of Paul Jones. And Paul Jones just gives him that bit of a squeeze there, but can Short Marcus get the traction? He thought he was possibly going for it there, but he thinks better of it, and it looks like D-Mac's round. D-Mac's round after battling with, I think that was Josh McGill.
Yeah, it would have been him or Ginge, as Josh now overtakes Ginge, the two we were just talking about, going into the first of the two Ravazza curves. back onto the start-finish. Said DRS enabled now and able to use it for the first time since that safety car restart. And the only one, of course, in this big long train at the front that hasn't got that DRS advantage is the leader. Pippo Kennedy is tiny, and Matty Jones go side by side, make contact. It's actually made Pippo Kennedy, he's hit them as well, and he's gone wide as he's ghosting right now. Hopefully his car will get back, and has done. Oh dear, that's caused some issues. But the American of Little Mo leading his first race, first time in RTG in this race, and wanting to create a gap, having a very, very strong outing so far, and it's all sort of gone topsy-turvy after this third safety car.
We'll say everyone from 15th up is all within DRS range of each other. Short Marcus, though, manages to get a great launch out of Aquaman in the rally, and now he's looking up the inside of Paul Jones, going into the chicane, and Paul... Oh! Paul Jones got a 3-second time penalty also.
Yeah, and Prodigy did just ahead of him, but getting the move done around the outside at Variante Outer. And Matty Jones actually losing time to Little Mo, who's leading. Josh McGill gets past Ginge, and who's that? Prodigy's now dived into the pits, getting himself a 5-second penalty. Going on to... he's retired.
Oh, sorry. Sean Marcus there is up into 6th now. Passing Ginge there. Nicely done. And Matty Jones and Pippo Kennedy swapping places. Prodigy not having the best of times. But yeah, Short Marcus, he was sitting in, what was it, 11th just a couple of laps ago, and now he's moved up 5 places to 6th, and now he's going to be chasing down Josh McGill in that Alfa Romeo just ahead in 5th place. Now Pippo Kennedy's going to have to gain about a quarter of a second if he can, with 3/10 going into Sector 3 if he's going to be wanting any of that DRS. D-Max out.
Oh no. My days. Safety car again.
Fudging hell.
Apologies for this, ladies and gents. It isn't really us, I have to admit. It's F123. It is on reduced, but safety cars are too frequent in this game. As Ross G now leaves the session, we're down to 16, lost 4 of the 20. But I have to say now, Lee, this potentially could be a sprint race to the end, with them all going on to surely the soft tyre now. Paul Jones
left.
Yeah, true. Little Mo's got them. Josh McGill lost a bit of time there, had to double stack with his teammate, who's going to come out in 3rd, and the first driver who's on it's not going to be 3rd actually, is now Lewis retires.
Oh no way. Right, so Tiny up in 1st place, never pat, same with Paul Jones and GTR on the 7-lap old mediums. Everybody else pit for the soft tyres, beside Pippo Kennedy, Matty Jones and Ginge, who have all went onto the medium compound tyres. Lewis G also just retired there in the pit lane, I do believe. This is just got a little bit spicy here at the end. So is Tiny and Paul Jones going to be able to hold off for what, about 6-7 laps till the end?
Well,
after a safety car comes in.
We'll have to see. We usually see, Lee, in F123, if you don't pit, if you're the odd one out, it's Tiny gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings under the safety car as well. We've seen it already today, seeing it again from our race leader. But yeah, if you're out on used tyres, even if they're only a few laps old, I've always found that you can be a cork in the bottle, and the sort of balance of play with new tyres is just such an advantage that if you're on an old set, you're kind of stuck in the mud.
Yeah, they do kind of, for some reason, they go off really quickly and then just slow down a bit.
And GTO deciding now that wasn't the best option, but he will go all the way to the back to 15th as Lewis also now leaves the session. I feel like this season so far, this has been the highest rate of attrition in season 14. Not sure how many people finished on Thursday though. I'm not sure if you remember. Obviously, there was a bit of drama in that last lap, but a lot of them obviously would have classed as finished anyway, because they do if they finish 90% of the race.
Yeah, I think it could possibly be 2 or 3 at most. I could be wrong, could be less. I forget. Memory ain't the best at times, to be honest.
So, while we wait, Lee, at least we've got some other things to talk about. So, there's definitely a few of these guys that haven't got themselves into the top 10 this season. Neither of the AlphaTauris have done it, neither of the Hasses as well. And we've got one of two. Obviously, Ross G's already retired, but we've got Ginge up in the top 10 right now. Every other team has got one or more top 10 finishes this season. But of course, we've had 2 different winners in the first 2 races. If it stays the way it is, obviously Paul Jones would be winning. His Tiny is a reserve, so that's not where he would be finishing. He would be struck off and everyone would move up a place.
But still, I would say absolutely smashing performance up to now from Tiny, but like you said earlier, the tyre advantage will go away from him. Little Mo looking the best up to now on them soft compound tyres. So we're going to be getting it back underway now. Tiny is going to be leading, and it looks like it's Williams in a Red Bull. It's going to be Pippo Kennedy and Matty Jones. It looked like Matty Jones was getting close enough there.
And saying that, Little Mo is getting even closer as the 2 leaders might be switching places here as Paul Jones goes aggressive. He's going to try and be later on the brakes on the fresher tyre, and then Little Mo trying to sneak up the inside, but the door was closed rather rapidly, but it leaves Pippo Kennedy some space on the inside. At Tozer, he tries to go at the inside but hasn't been able to do so. The soft tyre looking good right now as Josh McGill moves up as well at Tozer. But the 2 drivers who hadn't pit still in first and second. But for how much longer is Little Mo trying to go around the outside of the double right and then the left of Aqua Minerale before we get into Variante Outer. Now looking at the inside, later on the brakes from the Alfa Romeo, gets the move done. What a go and what a move from the American there. That could be going into overtakes of the month. Is Pippo Kennedy going to try it as well with first Ravazza? But no, he stays behind. Little Mo now on the charge for Paul Jones, who's leading right now, but has a 3-second time penalty. Little Mo looking very, very good right now, and that was a hell of a move, Lee.
Yep, he knew that he had that tyre advantage, and he knew that he could be a lot lighter on the brakes with and Tiny moving.
Whoa!
2 places there.
A couple of cars going right off the circuit there. I think Chuck was driving across the gravel as well.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to lose another place to Matty Jones. And contact, and he's losing even more places. He's down to the back of the grid. And when Matty Jones just make that little bit of contact, and that just spins him out there. I'm looking at Tiny just dropping like a fly there down a position in every corner.
And look at this now out of Aqua Minerale. Is it going to be a parallel of lap 26 on lap 27? Goes up the inside again at Variante Outer and gets it done on the outside. And wow, this man's finishing the top 10, got the driver of the day in the first race of the season, is leading once again. Is this going to transform and transfer into a race victory? Looking strong right now, got that Paul Jones buffer behind him on the quicker tyre, no penalties to speak of, just got to keep it calm, cool and composed, and this could be a memorable day from the American. But Paul Jones is starting to claw back a bit of time there down the straight, but wow, he's was quiet in the first couple of races and now singing a big old tune.
No, Chuck's decided to retire, and Ginge
Ginge as
also.
well, yeah. As
Oh no,
Pippo...
he's no.
Oh, hold on a minute. Pippo Kennedy there, losing a place to Short Marcus. That was interesting. Whoa, Pippo Kennedy going straight off the circuit there.
Fuck's sake.
Apologies for Lee's language, yeah. That's another safety car. Really, really sorry, guys. I think it is a bit of... The game is a bit quick at doing this, and I think some of the driving standards today has not been brilliant. Apologies.
No words. On the bright side, Pippo Kennedy could pull out a wee bit of a sneaky one, jump onto the softs at the end, if he's got them, that is. Or even just a couple of lap old set.
Could do. Paul Jones stayed out again, deciding that...
Tiny. Oh, yep, and... Oh, Mike Jones. He was going to go into the pits, but decided not to. Maybe he just got off the track for a second.
Yeah,
surprising.
Can only apologise for the amount of full course cautions. I haven't even seen a VSC, which is such a surprise. A couple of these could have easily been VSCs for half a lap, and doesn't really ruin the flow of the race. Just has a little bit of a call off, but yeah, this is not great. I think, as I said, it's in part some of the drivers have not been brilliant today. Wouldn't say they've been their best day, but on the other hand as well, we know that this game is got so many teething problems, and the amount of safety cars on reduced is definitely one of those big ones, just like the formation lap as well, which we don't have because of issues with this game. It's frustrating because we pay a lot of money to play this game every year, and it seems like the problems get worse rather than better.
Yep. Every year they find new ways to duck it up, really. I'm just speaking in autocorrect right now.
I'm just I'm just hoping, because from next year onwards, I believe it's going to be well, I can't really say next gen now, current gen platforms, and hopefully they'll be able to code like a whole new game, basically, because I think there's been rumours about the fact that it's not great because we're still having to use systems that can deal with a PS4, and I understand. I get the fact that if they code a whole new game, that's a huge amount of money to pull on an old generation. So I think they were just waiting for that to phase out, and hopefully that it will get better. Yeah, ever since 20 and 21, those two are top tier F1 games, I think, in the Codemasters generation. But since EA have took over, I'm not saying it's all EA's fault. It probably isn't all of their fault, but it does seem like an inherent problem with EA. I mean, me and Lee play EAFC, get some bugs in that. But to be fair, when we play that, Lee, there's nowhere near as many as what you get in this.
No, it's honestly, yeah, fair enough. There's wee bits here and there, like I remember seeing like a video on it where like somehow a defender and a goalkeeper would like swap places, and like here's your defender in goal trying to save the ball. But to be honest, that's actually funny, to be honest. Unless you're in an online match in Champions or something. But yeah, in this game it is just a lot more glitchy and buggy, I will say.
So, are we going to see safety car in this lap? We are. So we're going to have 2 laps of racing, no DRS for the rest of the race. Little Mo again got that buffer of having Paul Jones behind him on the used tyres. Obviously going to want to try and hold up the guys behind him, really, as he gets closer and closer to the leader. First time of him getting us back underway under a safety car. Let's see if he can pull anything out of the hat. 2 laps for this man, and he can potentially get himself a win as he goes nice and early. I think that was the right choice, being on the fresher tyre. And now we get back racing for the final time with 2 laps as Short Marcus getting closer and closer to the back of Paul Jones. He needs to get this done into Tamburello, otherwise he may be saying bye-bye to that Alfa Romeo. Tries to go around the outside, look at that, gets it done, was brave, it was brilliant, and yeah, he's now on the charge, but only got a lap and 2/3 to get past Little Mo without that DRS to help him along. As he go into Tosa, Paul Jones has already lost 3 places in just over a handful of corners.
Yeah, but looking at Little Mo right now, he's already got that 1.7 second advantage now, and they're just a way to go into the for the penultimate time. We're just a way to go into the 3rd and final sector. But that gap is coming down quite quickly. It's going to be a little bit of a tough one. Short Marcus has definitely proven to be quite a bit quicker, especially in the twisty, turny sections of sector 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I'm sure the adrenaline is going to start pumping for Little Mo now. He's just got to take a breath and make sure to keep it within the white lines. Not sure if he's got any warnings, but he can't afford to get a penalty. Look at that, getting so close to track limits there. As we go on to the final lap, Little Mo gets the fastest lap, and then Short Marcus after him. It's within 1 second, as I said a couple of times. No DRS on this final lap. But I think, Lee, now, if Little Mo just kind of keeps his car in the middle of the road and takes the inside line in defence, this could be a fantastic night for him. He goes into Tosa for the last time. Short Marcus getting closer and closer. Nice job, mates, in 3rd place. Been on the podium for the last 2 races, finished twice. Both times he's sitting in 3rd right now. Half a second between the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari as we go down into Acqua Minerale and now go uphill and exit towards the Variante Alta, where Little Mo has made some brave overtakes to be in the place that he is now. This is the penultimate place that he can go for it. He's still within half a second as Little Mo now exits turn 15 into 16 and into Ravazza for the last time. Ravazza won. Look at the Ferrari getting extra close to him. Little Mo exits the final corner and he's going to win his first race in RTG.
Oh, Short Marcus there, just getting on the brakes, just a bit too late there and locking up there. That was just mad there.
Yeah,
I will say.
Short Marcus
into the pits.
Short Marcus came 2nd. Nice job. Came 3rd. 3 times in a row being on the podium. I'm thinking Little Mo again for driver of the day. Actually, I'm chuffed to bits for him.
Yep, I would say Little Mo there for the driver of the day also.
As Short Marcus says in the comments, so close.
Yep, it was close there, to be honest. One more lap and I reckon it could possibly have been Marcus's race, judging by the rate that he was catching. But Little Mo getting that win there. And in 2nd place there, Short Marcus there, just missing out. But he's got the fastest lap to brag about. Nice job, mate. Up 6 places there. From 9th into 3rd, Josh McGill. In 4th, Paul Jones. 5th, Loneyman. 6th, Tiny. In 7th, Royal Rumble. 8th, 9th was Lee Pipple Kennedy. 10th, Matty Jones. 11th, and GTR 12th. And now for the long list of people who did not finish. We've got Danny, Ginge, Chuck, Lewis, D-Mac, Prodigy, Ross, and Chuckle. They all did not finish this race. And it was a bit disappointing in that part, but absolutely smashing race, especially come near the end there in that battle for the win.
Well, it's been nicely having you today, especially with all the safety cars as well. I think I would have probably, today would probably drove yourself insane, I think. um, dealing with all of
Yeah,
those.
probably.
So at least there was a positive from that. We'll see if we get anyone in for an interview. We'll wait a minute or two, see if there is anyone who would like one. Hopefully we hear from Little Mo. But we'll just have to wait and see. Mark saying interview. Yeah, if you would like, mate. As Little Mo saying he wants a party invite. We're getting short Marcus in. We'll speak to him in a minute. We'll see if we can get Little Mo an invite. I got it.
You got it.
I got it. Cool. So third place was nice job, mate, but we don't usually get him in for an interview, so we're probably going to have the only two that we're going to have today. Before we get started, I know Marcus will do already, but Mo, if you haven't already, just go to your party options and sharing audio. Make sure it's allowed for everyone, so they can hear you on the stream. Otherwise, it's going to look like I'm being mental. And hopefully, once you've done that, just let me know, and we'll get going. Okay, all right. Well, it should be good. So, congratulations, Mo. Third race and your first win in RTG and the second win for Alfa Romeo. I'm sure you weren't thinking that was going to happen today.
Yeah, no. Had a little bit more in me in qualifying, but I mean, just got home and hopped on, cut a couple laps, checked my setup, um, and then just tried to take it easy on the first lap. I think I got rear-ended coming out of Aqua Minerale by one of the McLarens, and that sent us both off. And then just put my head down and drove through the field. I knew I had good speed. The car felt really good, and with how things were playing out, I knew if I picked the right strategy and came at the right time that I'd have a good shot at it. So um, feel bad for Marcus. He was definitely faster. Probably definitely deserved to win it tonight. But I mean, I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Yeah, safety cars definitely played a hand in it, but still had to get that safety car restart right. I suppose you did have that little bit of a bit of a hand from Paul Jones being a bit of a buffer for a little
Yeah.
bit, but yeah, he was close, especially into the first part of Ravazza as well. I thought he was going to maybe go into the back of you. Actually, it was he probably couldn't have broke any later. Um, yeah, so yeah, a bit of luck. I think you'd probably been a bit more of a task for you if there'd have been one more lap.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. He definitely had the pace, and I probably could have pushed a little bit harder, but I knew coming to the last lap with a second gap or so that I just needed to hit my marks and be smooth, and then focus on sector three in case he got close, and just try not to overdrive the car. And then I saw him really send it into the or second to last corner, and knew that I was going to have to drive coming off and would be good to the line. So I was sweating a little bit for sure because he was hauling, but yeah, it was a fun one.
did you have any warnings, or had you kept it clean all race?
Just the one. I took one within the first 10 laps, I think. But other than that, I mean, I'm really good at this track as far as staying within the track limits, and especially with the setup that I had, it felt really, really comfortable. So I wasn't too concerned with it.
So are we going to see you? Do you think you feel like you could be getting in a groove now, maybe fighting for some more podiums and wins this season, or are you not
uh,
counting? You not counting your stars just yet.
I mean, I don't know. I feel good. I feel like I've had good pace, but this is a really competitive server for sure, especially on Mondays. But yeah, I'd like to be a little bit faster. I think it'll be track dependent on how I'll perform for the rest of the season, but definitely the tracks that I performed well at. I think I'll have a good shot at, top fives and podiums. Those guys up front, I'll need a little bit of luck like I did today to be able to get another win, I think.
Talking about other being track dependent, how do you feel about Austria next week?
Not too bad. It all depends on kind of where you can put the car at in qualifying, and if I can get into the top five, then I'll be happy with it, and I'll have a good shot. But I've been struggling qualifying as of late, so I need to work on that a little bit. But it's a good track. It feels, for an American, it feels more like a NASCAR track. So.
Yeah, it has that quality about it, I suppose, especially with all the DRS straights as well. It's only that middle sector that's technical. So, yeah. So the other thing I will have to say, into Variante Alta, that final chicane, that 2 overtakes that you did there. We are going to do overtakes of the month. Obviously, we've now got a bit of a Christmas break, so it's not next week. It's going to be in a couple of weeks on New Year's Day. Yeah, I think you could have a couple of chances of being in that video. To be fair, after those moves today, that was a big lunge. The first one, I can't remember who it was on. Obviously, having the fresh soft tires, but you must have must have been holding your breath a bit when you were going into it. Hopefully, he wasn't just going to turn in, expecting you not to go for it. But it was audacious. But I suppose you needed a bit of that today.
Yeah, a little bit. I knew at that point, in case we didn't get another safety car, that was the opportunity to try and get those guys in between me and the other guys that were on fresh tires behind me. So, licked it a little bit, sent it, it stuck, and definitely hats off to those guys for, having good racecraft and allowing me to make that move. Because they didn't have to. They definitely could have turned in and made it tough for me, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a tough move to make. But yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a Christmas present to enjoy for a few weeks.
Okay, brilliant. Anyway, we'll see you in. Wait, do you race on Thursdays? I can't remember.
No, I don't.
No. Okay, so we won't see you for a couple of weeks now then until New Year's Day. Until next year, anyway. So yeah, so well, obviously we won't speak before then. So have a good Christmas anyway, and a New Year. So and we'll hopefully. Don't know if you drink or not. Hopefully, not too hanging on that Monday to do the race in Austria. But we'll see you then, bud.
All right, sounds good. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Cheers, Marcus, mate. Bittersweet, I suppose. Made your way all the way back up, and yeah, if there'd have been 33 laps, might have been speaking to you first.
Yeah, what do you say to that? All things considered, I got to be happy with that. I got to be happy. But yeah, I am bitterly disappointed. I felt so strong around here. I run a lot higher wings than I normally do, so I got the pace everywhere, but that straight, and it was leaving me a little bit vulnerable at times. But obviously, in terms of outright race pace, I was doing absolutely fine. Hence why I was able to stick with the guys ahead when I was on hards. They were mediums quite comfortably. So yeah, it was pretty much feeling good. And I was in a chat with Pod and Josh, and they were just constantly going, "Yeah, no, I'm a bit worried about Marcus here." And then could not have been screwed over by those safety cars anymore. Like every single one of them came out at literally the wrong time.
Yeah, it was not great for you guys or us. Like obviously, you know, me and Lee are like sharing duties for Monday, and this is going to be the only one we're together. And thank God we were, to be fair, because it was. I have a horrible feeling there was more laps into the safety car than there were racing. Actually, yeah.
It was just a bit silly. I mean, the positives I take from it is that actually I had really good fun racing people. Like I had to make moves that were a bit more unconventional. I had to really send it out to give it absolutely everything. So I got to the finish line and felt a sense of accomplishment. So I'll take that from it. But yeah, it's certainly I think it was certainly going to be an easy second or third, if not better. It was certainly looking pretty good for the race win until those safety cars. But yeah, it's some fun racing out there. Some interesting moves. You've got to basically attack or be attacked moments. I gave it absolutely everything. I managed to get past Paul, but the way I got past him, I had two higher wings, and I just couldn't make the move on the straight, even though I messed up the restart. And so it just cost so much time going around into the first chicane. And by that point, I then had a 2-second gap to Little Mo, and he was gone down the road. And I was going to give it everything, but just a little bit, just not quite enough racing laps, a little bit more. And one more lap, we definitely would have seen a move on the card somewhere, but just wasn't enough at that moment. And fair play to him, because his pace was brilliant.
Yeah, well, it almost felt like you kind of half went for it into the first reversa, or because it looked like your car was going sideways on the turning. So I think you were carrying it a little bit too much speed in the penultimate corner.
I was the last 2 laps. I was on the limit of what I could do, perhaps a bit too much. I think, to be fair, I think in hindsight, I probably should have just cruised home for a second. But no, I wanted that win so bad. Like, after all of that, I sniffed a victory. I wanted to go for it, and I was just sending it full send. I thought if I could get close to him coming out of the last corner, you just never know, because I knew I had higher wings, so I knew I could slingshot out that final corner really, really well, and I may just get him to run to the line. There was the potential or the possibility for that if he just made a small mistake. So I had to give it everything and close up the gap as much as I could. But went a bit too much on the brakes, was a bit too much on the limit, and probably at that point, I think realization sunk in that maybe I should just back off and cruise at home rather than going all or nothing.
Yeah. So how do you feel about? I said it was next week. Obviously, it's not till 2024. We'll be at Austria now. So looking forward to that one. Obviously, a bit of a break now, but.
Austria always served me well on previous F1 games. This F1 game, I am struggling to find the pace around there. However, I did compete in an esports team event a few weeks back there. Qualified in 18th. To give you an idea what the pace is like in this esports event. But I had a brilliant race. Like, my race pace was on it, and made my way up to P8. I was having a brilliant race until a last minute safety car then took a gamble and actually got better than that. But the race pace was actually good. So yeah, feeling semi-confident, I guess. But with drivers like Nice Job and Josh McGill and Prod and that, just never quite know where you're going to be, to be honest. Especially in qualifying, I struggle so much on qualifying pace. It's the race where my strengths lie.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up there. So we'll see you in Austria. Same as what I said to Mo. Have a good Christmas, mate, and New Year's, and hopefully that day you won't be too hanging to race on New Year's Day. I think I might be.
I'm not making any promises.
Yeah, same as me. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, anyway, thanks very much, and have a good Christmas, mate, and New Year's, and we'll see you fresh and ready for the 1st of next month.
Absolutely, and same to you. I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone at RTG watching at home in their living rooms, wherever they're watching from, and wishing you both you and Flea a happy Christmas and a Merry New Year, and also a big thank you as well for covering the comms with RTG, because you do a brilliant job, and I for one love watching it back. I love trying to get involved during qualifying when I can. Obviously, I can't do it during the race, a bit difficult, but yeah,
Why
I love
not?
watching it back, and I know
Why
a
not?
lot of other people texting while driving one-handed. Through Maggots and Beckets and Silverstone one-handed. Yeah, it's fine. But no, honestly, I'm sure I speak on behalf of many people in saying thank you, because you do a brilliant job, and we love watching it. So yes,
thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. That's no problem. Same from me. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. Me and Lee again for it in Belgium, Lee. That should be good for the last race of the year. But if you're only watching Mondays, we won't see you for a couple of weeks. So everyone that's watching, same again. Bit of a broken record, but have a good Christmas and a happy New Year as well.
I feel like we need a Noddy Holder sign off.
Yeah.
It's Christmas.
Right, and on that note, it's goodbye from me and from Lee.
Peace out.